All right, welcome to Full Cup Press. Today is Sunday, October 22nd. I'm your host, Tim Strong, Hot Father Verge,
Hey.
JB, Chris, Deanna joined here with us today. First things first, pour responsibly, drink responsibly.
Believe that.
Always.
Always.
Let's get it. So, it's what we've all been waiting for. Opening week for basketball for 2017-2018 season. We saw
Pour a little bit irresponsibly really quick.
we saw some of the things that we were looking for. Some of the rookies came out, made some nice performances, some struggled. We saw some of the superstars interact with each other in a few games. So let's get right into it. So this is the hangover portion. Who made the biggest opening statement? Chris, what's some of the things that you saw?
It's Memphis. I was one of the people that thought that with them losing Zach, and it's only been a week, but with them losing Zach Randolph, with them losing Vince Carter, Tony Allen, I thought that would make a big difference in regards to how they came out and played night in and night out, and it hasn't. You know, they opened up well against New Orleans, and they've done exactly what they've always seemed to do against Golden State, and that's beat them. But more importantly, I think for them, it's their bench that's what surprised me. I thought that's what they would be weak at. They've scored 94 points combined, bench-wise in the past two games against Golden State and New Orleans. That's really, really impressive. But
It's just trash.
well, okay. Well, what about Golden State? Well, exactly. Hey, but they're proving that they're not only here to stay, but they may be better than ever.
Nice.
Okay.
JB.
All right, just a few weeks ago, a lot of people was down in this man so hard because they felt he didn't need to get this contract extension. But Mr. LaMarcus Aldridge, in 2 games so far, he's averaged 26, 8.5 points, and that he's also averaging 10 boards a game now. And against the Timberwolves on opening night, he came out and just started dominating straight up against Taj Gibson, Goran Zhang, and Cat when Cat was sticking him. And he's proven that he's worth that 3-year extension that he just got.
The only thing I'm gonna say to that is we knew LaMarcus Aldridge could dominate as the man. Where he's been failing at is being the number 2 guy. So when Kawhi comes back, it would be interesting to see if he keeps that up.
He will.
Yeah, because that's what's interesting. How does he fit? Like with him, it's never been his ability to dominate when the focus is all on him and he's the guy. But how does he play when he's not, when the offense is running through him? How does he play in regards to a side piece? And that's really never been, outside of having a point guard with Dame Lillard, with him having a wing, being that guy and then not running as much pick and roll action, and being more of a pass, a pass flow offense. It's very interesting to see how he plays, like you said, when Kawhi comes back, when he's not limping up charter stairs.
Yeah. I'm gonna say biggest statement for me this week though is definitely the Utah Jazz. I did not expect them to remain as defensively intense as they have been. Gobert has taken it to another level, and I'm beginning to see him more as a defensive anchor that also improves the defense of the players around him. They pretty much funnel to him, which gives them the ability to dictate where the person they're guarding goes. So it allows them to basically create a scapegoat and Gobert. It's like, I have this big man behind here, so I'm gonna force you left, I'm gonna force you right, and your shots are either gonna get blocked or at least contested. And they put on a good show. They've beaten the Thunder, which surprised me a little bit. And for them to be 3-0 so far, I think they made the biggest statement that they're still a playoff contending team.
Shoot, the fact that they was able to hold the former MVP to only 6 points was shocking.
Did you guys watch that game?
Yeah.
He looked like he was pressing a little bit. But I mean, Utah all in all, they're a tough place to play. And they have a lot of defenders I didn't notice. I mean, their rookie,
Mitchell.
I don't know where he went to school at yet, but Donovan Mitchell. My man's plays really, really good defense. They had Sefolosha off the bench. I didn't recognize that. I didn't realize how good of a defender Derek Favors has turned into.
Yeah.
Ricky Rubio looks more focused defensively for once. He's at least given a challenge. I think
it's that confidence of having Gobert behind him.
And the wild card of
He takes some more risks.
What you got against Cat, bro?
I ain't got nothing against Cat, I'm saying, but he takes some more risk. Rubio takes more risk right now.
How much better of a defender is Gobert than Towns?
At least 2 times.
Jesus Christ, he's okay. Well, you know what? If you're saying that, I think Gobert's a better communicator. He's a better team defender. All right, I give you that.
Gobert,
2 times.
Gobert,
I give you that.
and I say that because Gobert can single-handedly change an outcome of a game simply with defense.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. So, what surprised you the most, Burge, as this opening week?
This opening week, how trash the returning champs are. In my opinion, they're supposed to be 0-3. They've given up at least 100 points to every team they've played, which is a little bit different from how they usually run because they usually put up 120, but they also play deep. And this season, that defensive intensity just isn't there for the Warriors. And that used to be the thing. Like, they could put up that amount of points, but they were balanced. They had that defensive pressure on other teams. But as you can see, these teams are going blow for blow for them. And I feel like just a couple unnecessary mistakes made by the Pelicans, and they win that game as well. So in my opinion, the Warriors are supposed to be 0-3. They're lucky that they're 1-2. But that's been the biggest surprise is how trash they are.
So is that more of a surprise of how their defense declined, or just like
It's them overall. And a lot of people like to talk about the NBA champion hangover and having a slow start. But after they won the first time, they ripped off a 73-win season. So I can't give them that same excuse. This is a team that already had, you can't say they just got the target on their back. The target's been on their back since the first championship. So that excuse is gone as well. This is a team that should have came out to continue its dominance, and nobody's backing down from them. Nobody's scared of them, but they're also not performing at the level that they should. And it's been surprising. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the type of coach that Steve Kerr is.
Which is?
And I think he's more of a character. And it's messed up to say, but I feel like if Mark Jackson was still the head coach of this team, this start like this way, after they blew that lead against the Rockets, they would have won 2 straight because he would have made them play defense. He would have made that the focal point.
Listen, you gotta give them a slight break here, man. I mean, going after a tough game in which they had to play New Orleans, a back to what it wasn't was it a back to back? Going into Memphis?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's playing in Memphis with 7 days of rest is going to be tough. I think, but coming back to back, having to go from New Orleans to go to Memphis, that's not easy to do. I think one thing that you'll see them do eventually, you'll see more of JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee will start to supplant Zaza Pachulia in the starting lineup, and overall, I think what that'll do for them, that will make them better defensively, give them more of an anchor. No one's worried or scared of Zaza when they're going into the paint. Right now, like I told you the other day, Kevin Durant is their defensive anchor. He's the one right now that leads their team in blocks.
Yeah.
7 blocks.
So and that's no knock on him, but they do need a Zaza there. And I mean, they've always, when they've been at their best, really, really good defensively, those people have been in front. Andrew Bogut, Ezeli, and JaVale McGee. So I think once they do that, they'll be fine, man. They're the champs. They scored 700 points again. They'll be all right.
Just go right. You want to add on?
Yes, but I guarantee you, if Draymond Green does not go down, and late third quarter on opening night, they close that game out.
You guarantee it?
Yes.
Okay.
So is that your biggest surprise?
No, I mean
Just
the comment.
Yeah, go. Yeah, well, moving to yours. So.
All right. Well, my biggest shock was last night tuning into games on League Pass. I tuned into the Knicks-Pistons game. I don't know why, but something told me to. The Knicks, they jumped out to a big lead. Okay, I'm thinking like, okay, they could possibly hold on to it, but they blew a 21-point lead against the Pistons. But then, like, it truly made me think, though, to go back and actually look at their roster. Outside of Porzingis, Cantor, and Hardaway, what else do they truly have? Meaning, like, if you put them on, like, a contending team, they'll, like, again, they'll thrive. But just how god-awful the Knicks are, and, just, like, simple fact that they were up by 21 points was a shock to me. It's like, because that team is trash.
Are they at home, too?
Yes, first game at the Garden.
That's what the Garden would do to you, though. Big facts. That's a known fact.
I know Spike Lee was in there like, man.
I think what surprised me the most, I'm gonna actually stay in that game. We'll stay with a team that was playing in that game, but it's the Pistons. They came back for down 21 against the Knicks, but their previous game when they played Washington, when they lost by 5, they were down 15 in that game, and they came back. This may be, a team that's taking the type of toughness that Stan Van Gundy wants. But
Detroit is known for.
Yeah, Detroit is known for overtime. I think with them, what's interesting, Randy Jackson, Jesus Christ.
Reggie.
That'd be a no for me, dog. Reggie Jackson looks a lot more composed as a point guard, but to kind of wrap it up for me, outside of them taking that close loss to the Wizards, Avery Bradley and Andre Drummond are both averaging 12 points a game, and they're 2-1. They beat Charlotte, which I actually didn't surprise. I didn't think that they would end up doing. And Tobias Harris, man, looks really, really good.
That boy's balling.
He looks really comfortable offensively. I don't know if this is what we're going to be looking at with Drummond and Bradley becoming more so role players, but it really surprised me them being able to go 2-1 in that stretch in the way that they did. It was really, really surprising.
Okay. Well, what was your biggest disappointment, Chris?
Phoenix, man. So in the preseason, they looked horrible. And that's fair. A lot of teams suck in the preseason. But, they got beat by 42 and 48 points by 2 of their losses. And I don't know how they hung on against to even make that game competitive against the Lakers, because that's because the Lakers aren't all that good. Sorry, Dion, you ain't here. You here in spirit, but they ain't really all that good. They're going to find out tonight. But they lost by 42 and 48. It is hard. It is hard to lose by that amount of points in professional sports. When you have the talent that they have on their team, Eric Bledsoe, Devin Booker, the rookie Marquise Chris is supposed to be coming on strong. I don't know what's going on there. That might come down to coaching and Earl Watson, but from talent-wise, even their bench is decent. They should not be getting embarrassed like they are against. I understand Portland. I'm high on Portland. The Clippers, they let them score 130 points. It's ridiculous how bad they look. Uncomfortable. They need to start that youth movement completely. Eric Bledsoe and Tyson Chandler need to be out of there.
Earl Watson got to go.
Who you got to add?
Earl Watson got to go. Plain and simple,
Off for 3 games?
Again, you have a rookie, a second year player in Marquise Chris, again, who made the all rookie second team last season. So far in 2 games, how come he played 12 minutes and 4 seconds against Portland and 17 minutes and 54 seconds against the Lakers? He should be getting more tick. I'm truly disappointed in Earl Watson and Jeff Hornacek, because the way that they're handling their 2 second-year players, with Willie Hernangomez, who made the all-rookie first team the previous season. So far this season, 2 games, he's only played in a grand total of 3 minutes and 46 seconds. He should be starting center. Why is he not getting more tick? But last year against the Spurs, he showed that he can hoop. The man had 24 and 13.
But are you disappointed? Are you disappointed? Because you got to remember their team isn't the same as it was when he was there last year. Enes Kanter provides a little bit more offensively in regards to, I'm going to get out of the way and give you the ball. Maybe Enes Kanter plays better with, say, Porzingis well, at least that's what Jeff Hornacek sees. I mean, you can't put that on necessarily the coach. There's a reason that he's playing those minutes. If Kyle O'Quinn and I just forgot his name that fast. Enes Kanter is getting more minutes than him. That might not have to do with coaching. That might have to do with something that he's showing. I can understand one player. When two players surpass you in a rotation, he needs to look into the mirror. You can't blame that on coaching. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it's also the way that he's handling his depth chart, though. So,
you can blame the coach for the depth chart. Yeah.
I mean, because if you have a rookie who was just on the all-rookie first team last season who came out of nowhere, you expect, him to take a good leap his sophomore season. And, like, he's not like a young, I'm like a young guy because he's played for Spain in the Olympics. So, he knows what he's doing. Yes, he has experience.
I guess my question is, what if these two guys, Kyle O'Quinn and Enes Kanter, are showing more than what he's showing this season? We could talk about last year all we want to. After Brandon Jennings, after Brandon Jennings' first year, everybody thought he was going to be a superstar, and he's out of the league now. I mean, it happens.
He got injured.
He did get hurt, but his style of play also played into why he's not, on a team right now, or why he's not anywhere close to the level that he was when he first came in the league, scoring 55 points. It's crazy. So I think I understand your argument in regards to Hornacek, but I would also look into him and figure out what is he doing differently that he wasn't doing a whole offseason, training camp, preseason. Something had to change.
Okay.
All right. So, what was your biggest disappointment in opening?
Will me? My biggest disappointment was trusting the process. Oh man, to start off 0-3, I expected them to at least get at least one victory by now, to see some improvement, to see these young kids mature and learn to play together. And it's not that they look terrible, but they can improve, they can get better, but it has to produce wins at some point. They've been the biggest disappointment for me this opening week. And I need Embiid and Ben Simmons, and I don't really care about Saric or whatever, but him too, and Markelle Fultz and JJ Redick, like these guys, and that's why JJ went there. JJ didn't go there to take a season off. He wanted to have some type of impact, and they've been the biggest disappointment for me, especially when you have that many top 3 draft picks. They have to start producing at some point.
Folks got to go to free throw camp.
That was terrible. That was so terrible.
All right, so that concludes our hangover portion. We're going to go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back to Full Cup Press. Starting the second quarter.
Right. You gotta go.
This segment is called Light or Dark. Let's get right into it. So, Verge, Light or Dark. The Rockets are true contenders to beat the Warriors.
I'm gonna drink dark to that.
Okay.
Simply because, as I mentioned earlier, the Warriors aren't playing the same type of defense they used to play. So that kind of just makes it a shootout. And I don't think there's a better team than the Rockets to get in a shootout with the Warriors. And if that's what it comes down to, they are a threat because shooters have off nights. Golden State's gonna have off nights. Houston's gonna have off nights. And if nobody's really gonna play any defense, then it's an all-out war, and that's what it is. I think they're a threat unless Golden State does bring that defense that we're used to seeing back.
JB, Light or Dark?
That is light.
What?
I'm not worried about a regular season game because it was the first game of the regular season. I mean, the Rockets, they beat them the first matchup last season. And what happened after that? Golden State came back and won the next 3. I'm not worried about that. Man, talk to me April, May, and June. That's all I gotta say.
I'm drinking dark to that, man. And this is why. I mean, I would have liked to see them play in the playoffs last season. Regardless in the games that they lost, they were really, really competitive with Golden State. They are pretty much the only team that can play Golden State style comfortably from start to finish. They're the only team in the NBA that can do that. And I think Chris Paul will only help when he returns. And they're also, I think, deeper than most people realize. And that's another thing that Golden State used to have on most of the NBA, the depth. But because of style of play and the players that are on the team, I'm taking dark, man. The Rockets got a shot. I don't know if they'll do it, but they definitely are contenders to do it. Absolutely.
Okay, definitely. Jordan, light or dark? The Bulls' suspension of Bobby Portis on 8 games was justified.
I'm light. Hell no. Again, we've heard stories all the time of players getting into fights in practice. 8 games.
Knocking somebody unconscious though?
Facts.
That's different.
Well, Nico had to put his guards up. I mean, again. Straight up, because like Pop
He
said.
don't play defense. He don't play defense on or off the court, bro.
Because like what Pop said from Friday, man. Put up, all you have to do is just put your dukes up. Because again, the Bulls knew what they were doing when they drafted Bobby Portis.
They were getting into some fights?
I'm saying this though. Bobby Portis stated in pre-draft interviews, he treats every opponent like the man who used to date who used to date his mom.
His mom?
Yes, his mom was involved in a domestic dispute, and he treats every opponent like that. You know what you were getting into when you drafted him, and to be shocked when he finally snaps and knocks somebody out. No, you knew what you were getting. You knew what you invested time in. Light.
Indeed. I'm with JB. I'm drinking light to that too.
How many games should he have suspended?
Me drinking light to it is not about the amount of games that's suspended. Although I think 3 would have been appropriate instead of 8. But I feel like as a franchise, you have to, when things like that happen in a Bulls practice, you can't let it break that way. Like,
that's Fred Hoiberg's fault.
If it had been able to been kept under wraps, anything could have been said about how this injury came about. When your team is starting to rebuild and everybody's accusing you and saying nobody knows what the Bulls have going on, the last thing you want is more distraction of players fighting in practice. And I feel like if it was possible to keep it under wraps, it definitely should have been done, just from a professional standpoint. But when you break the story like that, it victimizes Nico and it makes Bobby Portis just look like this terrible guy. So if you break the story, break all of it. What led to this? Why is he feeling the need to punch his own teammate? And to the point where he breaks his jaw. Like, this isn't no quick scuffle. You fouled me hard in practice. I'm gonna smack you a couple times. We gonna continue practice. These are enemy type punches thrown if you break somebody's jaw. So I'm drinking light to it. The Bulls handled it poorly. 3 games should be good. And whatever Nico did, I'm gonna assume he deserved it.
But at the same time, Fred Hoiberg, he should have found the way. I mean, again, once he sees, once Fred seen things had started to escalate, the man should have found the way, to call practice. To call it early though. I mean, the game wasn't until Thursday. It's only Tuesday.
We're assuming we don't know exactly how it happened, and that's why I'm not drinking at all to it. I mean, it's justified. Like, to me, Bobby Portis reaching out over and over again, in addition to the Bulls, really no one knowing exactly what led up to it and it just being rumors and speculation, I think that kind of tells that it may have been on Bobby Portis just a little bit. Nobody seems to have blamed Mirotic. Nobody has really seen. We don't know what happened. Right. But for them to keep it under wraps, and maybe it comes out that that Mirotic played a part. He did something stupid. He called him a monkey. We don't know what happened, but I think the way that they handled it, the way that they came out with it, and the way that no one really knows much about it, it kind of tells me that it may have been deserved a little bit. They was quick. They didn't waste any time giving him an 8-game suspension. They were quick with that.
The next day.
It feels like that's something in which Bobby may have snapped. I don't know, but higher or lower, I don't know. If the NBA gave out the suspension, I may have more of an opinion on it. But with it being from the team, it just feels like they have the facts. They know what happened. they feel like it was justified. So I'm going with them this time.
But it further leads me to believe that the Bulls are truly all in on tanking right about now. Because outside of the rookie from Arizona, who else is our power forward right about now?
I think he rather fight and get suspended than he would play for the Bulls. Because I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that team. That team is terrible. They got some people on that team. I don't know who the hell they are. I don't. And I know a lot about basketball. I don't know who the hell is playing for the Bulls. I can't name you 6 players. Right now, I couldn't name 6 players. I don't know what they're doing. It's a D League or G League team.
Yeah.
I cut the game on, and this is how I know him. I just call him number 15. Whoever number 15 is, I have no idea
Don't know who it is.
My boy Paul Zipser.
That ain't 15.
F him. Nobody care about Paul Zipser.
Hey,
Don't you give him no pub on this damn show.
Right.
All right, so.
I'm gonna say his first and last name. What's wrong with you?
JB. All right, so are you light or dark in the era of space and
What?
Space and pace.
What?
space and pace?
he's been drinking.
The old school center is dead. How do you feel about that statement? The old school center is dead in this league today.
At this stage, right now, all right, I'll say dark to the fact that I agree. But in a few years from now, there's some kid, right? There's some kid who's being shown old school footage from his pops of Hakeem, Shaq, and everything, and he's learning, how to be like the proper big man, how the big man is supposed to play the actual game. So, in today's game, yes, but 5-10 years from now, no.
I think I'm drinking light to it because I don't think it's dead, everywhere, universal. I don't think it's dead. I think that, everything comes back. Everything comes back after a while.
It's all about evolution.
Evolution. I think that you have to have the right system, the right coach, the right players to be able to do it. Memphis dominates the Golden State Warriors. They don't do that by playing their game. They play by playing Golden State's game. They play their game. When you look at the success that San Antonio has, you have to have the right system around, the right players around it. The Pelicans play well against Golden State, but they can't finish because they don't have enough to supplant DeMarcus Cousins or help DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis against that team. But yeah, I don't think it's dead at all. I think you have to find the right group, the right system, the right coach, and you can succeed with it. Absolutely.
I agree with Chris. I'm gonna drink light to it, simply because that style of play is gone, and I don't think you'll ever see just a flat out old school center again. I think you'll see what we see today in what I like to call them hybrid centers from the past. So you figure you can still, like Marcus Gasol has a great back-to-basket game. You can still give him the ball, play after play, let him pound it out. Mm-hmm. But he adjusted to today's game, which all good players are gonna do. And you have to respect at least his three-point shot. The angle that JB took, I completely disagree with because that's how Embiid came up. He watched Olajuwon. He had that footwork in college, but what did he do when he got to the league? He's shooting threes.
Well, I think what JB was trying to say, and let me know if I'm wrong. I think you mean that it's a man that's basically he's taking the best of the past and the best of the present. He's molding it into a player. He knows what he has to do night in and night out to survive in today's league, but he's not forgetting Olajuwon. He's not forgetting Pat Ewing or Shaq, Alonzo Mourning. Some of the great centers before us, Tim Duncan. He's not forgetting those guys. He's implementing the best of that and the best of what today is with three-point shooting, mid-range shots, the outside game, athleticism, all those things.
Then if you're doing that, if you're conforming to what today's game is, then the old school center is dead. It's not forgotten, but it is dead. You're not going to get somebody who is strictly that defensive powerhouse and back-to-basket guy who did the type of things that Shaq did.
Well, but let me ask you, because I think that there can be a guy that doesn't shoot threes, a big man that doesn't shoot threes, that can still have a big time impact on the game.
That Shaq had, like Shaq, like who you talking about a guy who didn't even shoot mid range?
But I think, but even
True
Tim
old
Duncan,
school
would you call Tim Duncan still old school in a sense?
He's not old school center to me.
Okay,
He's-
well,
he's-
okay. So
he's
you're
power forward.
saying
Yeah.
strictly back to because even Hakeem shot a mid range jump shot, and
Very-
he wasn't.
But if you really look at it, it was very sparing. It wasn't at the rate that today's big man.
But he was still able to hit it.
Yeah, but it was more
And you
about
had to
him,
respect it.
and it was more about Hakeem literally just being there and being wide open, as opposed to literally running a pick and pop to get him to that spot in
I got you.
particular.
I got you.
know what I'm saying?
I think in today's game he would have adjusted in a sense. I think you have to adjust. There's no way.
Hakeem would have put up numbers in this league.
One way or another.
You have to adjust,
All right,
but
for sure.
that's why I think the old school center I think is dead.
You think it's dead? Okay.
I don't think it's ever coming back.
Okay.
All right. So that's gonna conclude the first half of the game today. We're gonna go on a break.
Pour y'all cups,
to the
man.
locker room, get hydrated, talk to the guys, and then we'll be right back with you.
We all rolling?
Yes.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, wasting good film.
Press.
The true definition of higher learning. That's the true definition of higher learning right there.
All right, so
man.
we're going to the third quarter. This section is segment is drink, babysit, and dump. JB, I'm gonna start with you. All right, so what role player is most likely to consistently step up with Hayward's accident, with him being gone? Freak, terrible.
Don't worry, it
incident.
wasn't a car accident.
It was brutal, like a car accident. If you saw the what was it, ankle and leg come out.
Hey, Gordon, get well soon. You will be an all-star next season.
Definitely. So, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Morris, or Marcus Smart?
I'm dumping Marcus Morris. I'm going to babysit, believe it or not, to Jaylen Brown, and I'm drinking to Marcus Smart.
You got it.
Believe it or not, last season on the Boston Celtics, not Avery Bradley, but Marcus Smart, he actually had the highest defensive efficiency on the Boston Celtics. So he's going to get more tick coming in, and and as you saw playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers on opening night, he's going to get the weaker wing player guarding him. If you actually saw the way that that Smart was killing Kyle Korver, if Kyrie can get that from Marcus Smart,
Anybody can kill Kyle Korver. Don't do that.
That's not impressive.
Don't you do that. You brought up defense to Gordon Hayward wasn't brought there to play no damn defense.
I'm just saying though.
Right.
And you just
I'm
scored
just
10
saying.
points on Kyle Korver.
Fam, we talk about offense, and the first thing
I'm
you brought
saying.
up was defense. We know
I'm
you
just
do
bringing
that.
up the simple fact that again,
His nickname is White Lightning.
And you want to talk about defense? That ain't why they brought him in there, man. We got
I'm
about
just
offense.
talking about for the simple fact for Marcus Smart though, why I believe he'll have the biggest impact of all the role players.
So
on
he's going to
Boston.
continue to do what he's always been doing. Okay.
But getting more minutes because
Believe it or not,
he was a
believe it or
top
not,
10
I'm
draft
with you.
pick.
I'm with you top to bottom, but not for the way that you described it or explained it. I'm babysitting Marcus Morris. We don't know. He's a good role player, but we need to see him healthy in the offense. I don't know exactly how he's going to play. Is he going to be 3, 4? What exactly is he doing? How's he playing with Jason Tatum? I'm going to babysit Jaylen Brown. As talented as he is, I'm interested in his second year, seeing him with a heavy minute workload, seeing if he can continue to be consistent offensively once players and teams start to figure out exactly what he likes to do.
Yeah.
But I'm drinking to Marcus Smart because he's a veteran, he's versatile, and I think he's improved as a shooter.
He's finally finna get more minutes. So
He's
it's the
very
thing
good
though.
defensively, but I think offensively is where he's always had that star mentality. I want to see him have the ability to maybe show it more with somebody who can shoot a little bit more. We saw him in the playoffs play really well against LeBron and the Cavaliers. Actually, he won them a game damn near by himself.
Yes, he did.
I think in the offseason he's improved as a shooter. That's my pick. Verge.
You drinking today?
I'm dumping everything they talking about, and I'm dumping Marcus Smart right along with them.
Wow.
I'm gonna babysit Marcus Morris, and I'm drinking to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, just has I think he has a chip on his shoulder, being probably the least talked about number 3 pick in recent years.
He's got the most hair out of the group.
But still,
Exactly.
he's gonna draw.
I'm with you.
He's gonna draw the defensive matchups. I don't care about Marcus Smart's defensive efficiency over Avery Bradley because he wasn't guarding the players that Avery Bradley was. He was part of the second unit. Avery Bradley was out there in front of the Klay Thompsons, the James Hardens, and then Marcus Smart had to deal with Eric Gordon and whoever
your best player was, Avery Bradley, then, well, perimeter-wise, he was on.
Yeah, so I'm not concerned with Marcus Smart in that aspect. And I still to this day don't trust Marcus Smart offensively. I understood what Boston did in getting rid of Avery Bradley because they had Marcus Smart. And you want to give that guy the chance to grow to the Avery Bradley's level. And it gives you time before you have to pay him when seeing they had already had to give that money to Avery Bradley. So I get that, and you want to bring Gordon Hayward in. That's cool. But I think Jaylen Brown is going to be the one to step up defensively on both sides of the ball.
I can see that. I just want to see more out of him. Before I commit to that, I want to see more out of him consistently with that minute, with that workload, and teams starting to figure out, okay, well, this is what he does well. He's athletically, he's a freak.
Yeah.
And he seemed like he refined his game, but I'm a trust with the veteran.
Hey, you know what? That Cavs game, LeBron got the hell out the way on that break.
Well, he
Jaylen Brown,
he do better.
I take that.
All right, so Verge, we slept on this team the most. Utah, Atlanta, or Memphis?
Since I said Utah made the biggest opening statement for opening week, whatever the case, I gotta drink to Utah. Very impressive first week. I'm going to babysit Memphis, just because, as Chris alluded to earlier, they did lose a lot of that grit and grind, but they seem to have filled it very well. And I have to say, I'm impressed with Mario Chalmers, the way he handles that second unit.
Just the cornrows, bro.
The way he's came back.
Yeah, and I mean, I guarantee you, me included, I bet a lot of people wrote him off. He tore his Achilles. He had Achilles tear too.
He did something, bro. I don't know what
You know,
Some freak.
I thought it was bad for him the moment he got out of Miami.
bro.
Yeah,
He was out there.
the moment he got out of Miami, I thought that was going to be bad for him.
Big facts.
But he's running the second unit beautifully. The kid Dylan Brooks
I was
has
talking
been
about
off the chain. I think Houston should have kept him. I don't know what they got in return. I know they drafted him.
washing
but-
machine.
Yeah, but they should have held on to him. And then, but yeah, Atlanta, I'm not thoroughly impressed with. I'm gonna dump them. I don't even think the team's gonna make the playoffs, to be honest. I don't.
All right, believe it or not, I'm dumping the Grizzlies only for the simple fact I had Memphis making the postseason. So it's like, I expect that from you. Still have, again, the most underrated player in all of basketball, and Michael Conley, who will make the All-Star team this season, along with Mark Gasol.
Damn, two Grizzlies?
Yes, 2 Grizzlies.
Wow, that's hell. Keep going.
All right, I'm drinking to the Utah Jazz due to the simple fact that when they played against the Nuggets on opening night, they were down 5 going into the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth, they held Denver to 13 points.
How many?
And
How many?
so they say amount.
Oh, okay.
And I'm babysitting to the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, again, I'm not really much of a Hawks fan at all, but to come back against Dallas, a band like that, and the fact that Dennis Schroeder, again, he's proven that this is why they gave him the keys to the car, and he's driving that mug like right about now.
Best of visibility. I'm going to drink to Utah mainly because I didn't think they had much left after losing Gordon Hayward. I guess I didn't see
George Hill too.
I kind of underrated. Well, yeah, George Hill. I kind of underrated Quinn Snyder as a coach.
They finally got Alex Burks back healthy.
offensively, I still feel like they're gonna run into some struggles. At home, they play really well, but I think they're gonna run into some struggles keeping up with some teams offensively. But they are really, really good. I didn't think they would make the playoffs. They play really good team basketball, and if Ricky Rubio continues to play this way, they should make the playoffs. I'm gonna babysit Memphis. Based off, I think everyone thought that they would still be competitive, but I didn't see them beat New Orleans and Golden State in their first week. I just didn't. I thought they would be 1-1, and the way that they did it, it was different ways. In the first game, it was Dylan Brooks and Mike Conley. In the second game, it was mainly Marc Gasol. They seem to be really flexible in their attacks night to night against teams, and that's impressive. I'm gonna dump Atlanta. I still believe in Schroeder. I believe in their coach, and I think that they have a lot of players that people don't necessarily know about that they will at some point. I still think Atlanta's gonna make the playoffs, but I think the way that we put this, hey, you chill, be nice. I think the way we put this together, given it's the first week, it kind of wasn't fair to Atlanta. That's on me. But I think they'll still be all right. They're still a playoff team.
The Brooklyn Nets will have a better record than the Hawks this season.
You drunk. Whoa. You drunk right now.
I'm dead serious.
Can we get a bet right here? Can we? And you
I
got
bet
one
on-
going.
You betting what? Well, because this podcast is about alcohol, so it got to be a bottle or two.
I bet you 5 shots on that.
Like 5 shots consecutively?
Yes.
No break.
No break. I'm with that. I'm with that 100%.
The Atlanta Hawks will
We gotta
have
start writing these down. We need a bet board.
So
the Brooklyn Nets will have a better
Brooklyn's
record.
gonna have a better record. Now listen, in a later show, he has the ability to bring
that's
this back
fine.
up to where we can do like a flashback, goes all the way back and have you say
That's
the
fine.
Flashback pictures.
That's
right,
fine.
and it's gonna be like your face, like you saying this dumbass shit.
I'm telling you.
And I'll be sitting here watching you. It's gonna come back, and you're gonna be
See this
shot.
man
You're
up
gonna
right
be doing
about
all
now,
this
man.
shit. It's gonna be bad, but okay.
I'm telling you.
We'll go with it.
All right.
All right.
Chris, I'm gonna come back to you. I know you mentioned Schroeder for the Hawks. Who do you think is most likely to lead their team to the playoffs? Dennis Schroeder, Miles Turner, or Nikolai Vucevic?
I'm going with Schroeder, and mainly because I've seen Vucevic put up good numbers before. I need to see exactly what he's. Oh, hey, y'all toasting and shit. All right. I need to. So I'm drinking to him. I need to see him. I need to see him continue to be able to make his players around him better. And they beat Cleveland. That was cute. Cleveland takes nights off. They just do. They're an older team. They're gonna do that a lot this season.
He's referring to the Orlando Magic.
Miles, the Magic. Miles Turner. I'm gonna dump him.
Ooh.
And I'm going to, because I think that team's going to be a lot more about their backcourt and Darren Collison and Victor Oladipo than it is going to be about Miles Turner. I just think that he's not have the opportunities to really thrive as much as we would like. But I like Vucevic. I just need to see him be more than about numbers. If he can do that, then he'll supplant Schroeder. But better coach, ball in his hand a lot more. He's a point guard of the team. I'm going to go trust my gut, and I'm going to say Schroeder.
Okay. JB.
All right, I'm actually drinking to Dennis Schroeder due to the simple fact that the key word is carry their team to the playoffs. The Hawks, outside of Schroeder, who do they truly have? I mean, Bazemore, he's wishy-washy, like he's there sometimes, but there's sometimes it's like you'll see him like the man only had 5 points. I'm babysitting to Nikolai Vucevic. I've been a big fan of Vucevic dating back to the 14 season. Like I had him on 3 of my previous fantasy teams. Self promotion at its finest. I mean, the man had 44 and 12 Friday night.
Fantasy teams.
Right.
Hey, my team done beat yours a couple times, so.
Keep going, man.
But yeah, but the man had 44 and 12 on Friday night. Then to follow that up the next night, go into Cleveland, beat Bron and Cleveland by 21. Like that's no fluke.
That's no fluke. The hell you mean it's no fluke?
I'm saying
How you
like
gonna say that?
I'm talking about the game that he put up. I mean, again, because again, certain teams they
You said
they
John
take.
in Cleveland. You said it's no fluke. You gonna have to change your words up or something.
Well, I'm saying that the game that Vucevic, I mean, the game that he put up was no fluke against Cleveland.
Kevin Love at the 5? It wasn't a fluke?
No.
Okay,
'Cause-
continue.
And
Sure.
I want to dump Miles Turner again. That Pacers team, it actually has some nice pieces to go along. Turner, you know, with Victor, Glenn Robinson III, Darren Collison, they still got that. He is young, which I believe he will get moved to make room for Julius Randle, who will be coming to the Pacers next season. Bet on that.
Just wait on it.
Yes.
Skip.
Skip.
Tell me y'all what.
Yeah.
I need
Julius in there.
I didn't know who your sources are.
He's not happy.
I think both of y'all are crazy. First off, I don't think any one of these guys can carry a team to the playoffs. So, but what they can do is who can have a larger impact on getting to the playoffs. I'm going to drink to Miles Turner. And as you guys alluded to, yeah, he's got better pieces around him. But I feel like his impact on them making the playoffs will be bigger than these other two guys. I'm going to babysit Vucevic. I do like his game. He cool.
I mean,
He's improved too.
He did have a 30-30 game
They
a
put that
few
3-point
seasons
jump
ago.
shot in his game.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I'm gonna dump Dennis, simply because mainly Chris mentioned he has to start making players around him better. I don't think he's that point guard. I don't think he can do that.
Well, no, I mentioned Vucevic needing to make players around him better.
Oh, well, that's even worse. I
Well,
never
you
put
caught him a point
responsibility
guard, then.
on a center.
Well,
I wouldn't put that responsibility on a center.
Schroeder was named the Draymond Rondo for a reason.
It-
Okay, if this is about what I think, if they end up winning, it's gonna be because he makes these guys around him better. If you don't think that he's that guy, then you're not gonna have him there.
No. I feel like if they end up winning, it's because somebody like a Bazemore becomes a 20-point scorer
Okay.
per game.
Jesus
He still,
Christ.
he still has to take that. He still has to
Okay.
take that leap, though.
Exactly, and that's why I'm dumping Schroeder and the entire Atlanta Hawks organization. But I like the magic. I like what Vucevic has around him as well. But I think Miles Turner had the biggest impact because he plays more defense than both of those guys, and he can also score the ball.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. All right, so that concluded our third quarter. We're about to end the fourth quarter. It's game time, so we'll be right back with you.
Right, Black.
Welcome back to Full Cup Press, fourth quarter. This is the last call. This segment, we will have some bold predictions.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
All right, so assuming that we had a fictitious conversation with a player this week, how was that conversation, JB?
Man, I just got off the phone, and with the leading scorer for the Chicago Bulls right now, Robin Lopez, who's averaging a good 17 points a game.
Looking like water.
I asked the man, like, straight up, like, man, how are you doing? I mean, like, man, how are you actually leading this Bulls team in scoring? The man told me straight up, dude, you see the players that's on my team right about now? I'm jacking up shots because I'm trying to get the hell up out of the Bulls. I'm trying to get the hell up out of here right about now, though. Man, I don't care if you actually send me to the Spurs to be Powell's backup. I mean,
Oh man.
Back up.
his backup. I don't care. Just get me out of Chicago now. I don't want to be here. We're trash. I'm the oldest player on this team. Just shit me out of here to a contending team. I don't care, like, if I gotta, like, get donuts for the rest of the squad. Just get me out of Chicago, please.
You know what he has to do? He got to call out Bobby Portis.
I'm telling you. Hey,
Bobby, like, what'd he say?
What'd he say?
What'd he say?
man. And Bobby gonna knock him out, too, though.
Verge.
Oh man.
How was that encounterment?
Well, I didn't have that encounterment. But I'm gonna say this. I talked to my main man Brody. Had to get him on the phone real quick after that. What I like to think of as an embarrassing loss to the Utah. But But he was just telling me that, you know, if Paul George and Melo don't at least start shooting regularly, give him at least 35% from the field at a minimum. This jacking up shots is terrible. He's not happy with it. And he's triple-double king right now. He can't get his triple-double if y'all shooting 9 for 28 and BS like that. Ain't got time for that. Yeah, man.
He said it to you just like that.
Yeah, man. Look, Brody is modest.
Facts.
Brody is modest. He ride for his brothers. Anybody that joins, if you become a member of the Thunder organization, you are his brother. You know, he's Brody, so you his brother with a D.
Facts.
But Melo and Paul George,
Y'all tripping.
tripping. They still shooting ISO shots like they play for Indiana and New York. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Me and Brody confused. That's why we had
Y'all had to chop it up, huh?
we had to chop it up. We ain't drinking no hen dog though. No blacks either. Who you talk to this weekend,
What
Chris?
is it? I talked to the Greek Freak, bro.
Ooh, okay.
Me and my man's had a candid conversation here.
What language?
Man, well, listen, this is the problem. I was about to lead to that. Because of his accent, I couldn't understand it all, but I got the best that I could. From what he told me, he said that he's next up, bro. Like, and his team can't be like forgotten in the East, fam. Like, talking about Cleveland and Boston. Like, what about me, bro? Like, y'all didn't see what I did last year? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't
Y'all
see
lost in
how,
the first round.
Hey, chill. Y'all don't see like the progression in my game. Like I'm out here like every day. He was a little pissed off, but we kind of like calmed him down. We kind of talked about it a little bit more. He said that he's an MVP candidate, man. I mean, and he's averaging, and actually after averaging 38, 9 and 5 with only 2 turnovers, I see it, man. So he said that, you know, we talk about MVP candidates, scoring champions, and all that. He said he going for that ring, bro. So. You know, whether or not, I'm just telling you what he said. You can laugh all you want to. You can't tell me I had a conversation with that man, he believe in.
You better call him back, so he better worry. You better
He's
go.
at least,
you better go for them awards.
He's at least
You better-
MVP candidate.
So was he off for that wine though or
Huh?
nah?
Yeah.
So was he off for the wine?
Nah, man, that man, he's a freak, bro.
Hey,
Don't
he
drink
can go
wine,
for
bro.
all the regular season awards.
Bro, listen, man, my man is a freak, and he's a Greek freak, bro.
You know what? You know what I want you to ask him? I want him to know how it felt. You know, just dominating the game, just getting buckets however he want, and then on a one-on-one fast break with LeBron,
He that.
just pinned his on the
I mean,
glass.
listen, we talked about that too, bro.
Nah.
We talked about that too.
Yeah.
He told me listen, Brian's still technically in his prime, bro, so that's expected.
Right.
But you know what? I came back down and I still put up 30 on him, still put buckets on him.
Yeah.
I did that. That's what he said. I ain't
Yeah. But you see, that's the maturity process. He'll learn 30 don't mean nothing with an L.
Yeah, you
He'll
know,
learn.
I mean,
He'll learn that.
And that's fair. That's fair. Jabari, he said Jabari coming back. You know, listen.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Oh
Simeon's finest.
no. He said the guy that's from here. Y'all like that guy. He's
Who?
from. He
What?
went to Simeon.
Who? Huh?
Jabari Parker.
What?
Y'all don't know what I'm talking about?
He-
All right, well, listen, he coming back. He gonna have a little help.
The players start losing knees from Chicago. I forget who they are. I
I
forget who they are
understand.
What is that
sometimes.
about? Chicago players don't leave with knees, bro. They enter the league with knees.
Hey, Pat Beverly still got his, though, man.
Even our outside courts got the worst potholes in America. So
All of them got knees.
JB.
Knee problems.
I mean,
Make
but
a
Pat,
bold prediction.
okay. So the defending champions have 4 games this week against the Mavericks tomorrow night, the Raptors on Wednesday night, the Wizards on Friday night, and the Pistons next Sunday. On Wednesday and Friday, they will give Toronto their first loss of the season, and they will also give the Wizards their first loss of the regular season.
Bold?
Bet on that.
Is that bold?
is that bold?
Hey, they're angry right about now. Hey,
I thought if they have 4 or 5 losses within the first 2 weeks, that's bold. You telling me that they're gonna beat Washington and who else you said?
Yeah.
Toronto.
Toronto, that ain't bold.
Make a bold prediction then, Chris.
DeAndre Jordan and Andre Drummond will finish at least 70% from the free throw line this year.
Jesus Christ.
They have not missed. They have not. That's why it's bold, brother.
No, that's blasphemous. That's not
They
bold.
have
That's blasphemous.
not missed. No, listen. Okay, listen. There's some things I've seen here. Okay. DeAndre is 6 for 6 on the year so far. Drummond is 6. Well, no, I'm sorry. DeAndre is 4 for 4. Drummond is 6 for 6. it's telling me the Drummond's only shot. Well, he's only attempted 4 free throws. That means that people ain't following him, man. They've seen something. Now, one of those games it was a blowout. But if I told you in the offseason that they would start out 4 for 4, 6 for 6, you thought I was crazy. Them going to the free throw line back-to-back times and not missing a free throw for those two guys is pretty ridiculous. I think they'll shoot at least 70% this year. I think they went to the same free throw coach. I don't know who they went to.
They went to the same free throw coach.
They went to the same free. I don't know. I'm not saying that's a fact, but I'm telling you that I think that's what happened because they will at least, even if it's 70.1%, they both gonna do it.
This week, DJ will have to be at the line 20
times. You had
times.
your own bowl prediction already. It's his turn.
Yeah, I just think you drunk. It's the first week of the season.
Maybe. I think that's impressive.
And I think when they start intentionally fouling them, then
Y'all don't think that's impressive for them?
no, fuck them.
Okay. See, you just don't like them. You don't care about them.
I don't care about them.
I'm calling them next week.
My bold prediction. I'm going back to the Warriors. It's actually a bold prediction. I don't know what JB was doing. The Warriors about to run off 10 straight. 10 straight.
Who they play next thing?
And KD gonna average.
Well, they got
KD gonna
they got
average
Dallas
31
tomorrow
over,
night. That's
over the next 10-game stretch. Cause he came out a little soft opening that first game. He came
You say a little soft?
He got soft.
How you spell it?
SOFT. Soft.
Big.
Golden State Warriors about to run off 10 straight. That's my bro prediction for the week. I don't care about them beating the Wizards and the Raptors. They were gonna do that anyway.
All right, so that concludes the fourth quarter. Dave and I, we're gonna brainstorm. We're gonna see which one of these fellas deserve the game ball. Analyze some stats, some analytics, and we're gonna get right back with you. Welcome back to Full Cup Press. We did some deliberation, and JB, you're gonna have to take some extra laps after practice. Simple as that.
I think this is fair.
A little bit more.
I think this is fair.
Prepare for next time.
Can you handle that? Can you handle
bought it, bro.
You did buy it, so by right, you have to kill that.
Go ahead. The game ball today is going to Verge.
Yeah.
Therefore, he has the right for his drunk rant.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
The soapbox is yours, sir.
I'm gonna let Jordan. You good? You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time. All right. My drunk rant this week. It's going to my goddamn Chicago Bulls because I'm still upset with them. I hate them for the first time in my life. Me being born in '92, I got thrown straight into this Jordan shit.
Don't act like it was a burden. Don't act like it was a goddamn burden.
Paxson.
You got 6 rings.
Paxson, Foreman, fucking, we got I think Dion, or I think Tim said it, goddamn Benny the Bull is the face of the franchise. He's the most popular player on that team. He don't even touch the court. Well, he touched the court, but he don't even play.
He can't even carry popcorn in the stands with him.
So they need to pray and wish that I don't ever hit the lotto because I'm gonna go buy the Bulls. And I'm if I gotta do it legally, I'm doing it. If they don't want to sell to me, we gonna find a way. We gonna find a way. We gonna catch y'all slipping. We gonna get y'all out of there like the from that used to own the Clippers on some racist shit.
You can't say in the podcast, Verge.
I can say whatever I want. My motherfucking drunk rant. It's my drunk rant. It's my
say-
drunk rant.
You can't say motherfucker either. You can't say all motherfucker.
And the Bears gonna beat the Pels next week.
You mean the same?
They don't play the Bills.
The Bears, I'm drunk. It's a drunk rant. It's a drunk rant. The Bears gonna beat the Saints.
Bro, listen.
The Saints have better chance if they put the Pels out there. Saints have a better chance. They put the Pels out there on offense.
If the Bears
And Eddie Robinson
next
on-
week, bro, you got it.
And Eddie Robinson will get a pick 6 off of Drew Brees.
And you know what? With the amount of quarterbacks that's going down, Drew Brees going out next week with a broken something.
Why you wishing on injury, bro?
He old.
A broken collarbone.
Just because he old. Nothing serious. He's just old. He's what, 40?
He ain't 40 yet.
He ain't 40 yet.
He's not 40, 39?
38.
38, 39.
Well, Father Time beats no one.
And he's like 5 cent. Father Time beats every man except Tom Brady, apparently. But he gonna catch him in his 50s. He gonna catch Tom Brady in his 50s.
Tom Brady will get burnt.
Burned in what?
My toes is up, man.
Burned in what you?
damn it.
You out here giving Tom Brady STDs?
Come on, man. All right, hey. Come on, man. Pour responsibly.
Wait. You still got drink in your cup?
Hell no.
Oh, what you toast it for?
Well, shit. I mean, you know, like,
you know,
like,
responsibly,
we is
drink
on
responsibly.
camera. I mean, shit, we is on camera. You know, we got to
Yeah.
make it seem like
You don't lie to our fans.